everyone, welcome back to Rebecca's Colouring Arts and Crafts. So, I'm finally getting on to the line, our last part of our line on Millie Marotta's line. I am so excited to be back doing this. I've really missed it. So, I can't wait to continue this part. So, we've just got this little section down here to do with our line. I was actually surprised when I opened it up and this spot looks lighter, kind of how I wanted it to. So, I don't know how that's happened, but yeah, it's happened. But yeah, I'm really excited to go back to this. I've really missed it. I'm going to do the best I can to try and get some videos done in the lead up for Christmas and over Christmas whilst I'm away. It may not be every day of the week, but I'm going to do the best I can. So yeah, I'm feeling really happy to be back doing this again. So we're gonna zoom in a bit. We're gonna get in as close as we can and make sure it's in the frame. And yeah, we're gonna get going on this lion. Now I've got to remember all the pencil colours again. Yeah. Okay. Let's I'll just see if I've got them or not. No, I don't. So I'm just going to go by memory and hopefully I will get this right. I hope being the optimal word. Or actually I might just stop for a minute and I might go back over my video on my PC, because even if I can't get this finished recording before the PC goes in for upgrades tomorrow, at least I can still record it when the PC is in for upgrades, if that makes sense. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is just go and find out these pencil colours, because I won't be able to do that so easily when I don't have my PC, and then I'll write them down there on my phone and we can keep going from there, even if it means that I'm continuing whilst the PC is in the shop. So yeah, I will be back shortly. See you then. So hey everyone, I'm back. So I found it, I started watching the video and then I remembered, oh hang on a minute, I actually have that here in my book. So in my little art diary, which is where I write all my paper colours and stuff. So yay! So I found it. So I'm going to try and use this as a bit of a guideline to which leaves we colour with our sepia, which we don't. Our light source, for a reminder, is coming from this direction down this way. So what we are going to do is shift this over here for a minute. I've got to get these eggs in the fridge. My mum has chooks, so she brings me farm grown eggs to eat, which I love. But yeah, so this isn't working. It's not staying flat. Sorry, I've got to shift a couple of things to make space for it. So we're going to start with our Sepia PC948, and I'll start with the leaves and stuff that I can remember currently, and then we'll continue from there. So because we're sort of coming down around the edge, we sort of want our sepia around this edge, doing your little light area so that you can sort of blend things in easier between the colours. And I'm just going to work my way through with the sepia here. also want a streak of our sepia down the side edge of the stem as well. A little bit of lighter colour if we can. And then for these ones I'm going to do the tip bit here. And a little bit of a light area. Because of the way, and I am bringing some of these further back leaves, the larger ones, I'm bringing some of our sepia sort of up the side a little bit. And there's also a spot here, I just want to change this, just in this leaf where I've been changing some of these. Rather than doing it the way it is, I'm actually going to change this so it's not a leaf. So I'm going to come in with the Tuscan Red PC937, and these little stem areas between these, I thought I'd filled them all in but obviously missed some, which is usual, and I just want to fill those in, and I'm instead going to do them the same as these single ones. And then once we've done our Tuscan Red, we're going to come in with our black PC935, and we just want to colour that over the top of the Tuscan Red colour. And so I'm just quickly going to pause for a minute because I just want to wet this out a minute, and then I just need a drink and that because it's really hot here today. So yeah, and then I will see you back in a minute. So I'll see you then. Bye. Well, not bye. Well, see you shortly. Yeah. Hey everyone, I'm back. So we're just going to continue here with our sepia. I think most of these have sepia in them. It's dust stuff all over it. Well, specks or something. Except for this one, I think doesn't have sepia. I think all the others, oh, and that one down here. But I think all the others have sepia, so we're just going to continue with our sepia. And because our light source is coming from this direction, as I said, we're going to bring it down like this, I think. I'm just trying to add a bit of a lighter area for blending. I'm going to bring this side up just a little bit here, even though not all that spot's going to be taken, obviously. This one's just brought down basically like this from what I can tell. Whoops, that might be the wrong side. Oh no, it isn't, because is it the wrong side or not? Maybe because our shadows are down the bottom, so yeah, no, it's not. I'm just doing it slightly in the other area because I want that to sort of be the back bit of that leaf. And we're going to do similar to what we did for these two down the bottom bit here. with just having it so coming up a bit on that bottom edge more. On this side I'm just going to have it a bit on the base, not the tip. So I'm just going to pause for a minute. I just need a drink, so I'll be back in a minute. So hey everyone, so we're going to continue here with our Sepia PC948, and I've just been working out roughly what colours go where. I don't think there's many here that I am going to skip the sepia colour. I think the majority of them are the sepia colour. But yeah, I've also done a bit of a lighter shade on the very edge of this one here too, so yeah, we'll just keep working through it. So also where there's shadows over the back of the leaves, I'm going to try doing bits of shadows there where needed. And I think I'm just quickly going to sharpen this. Just so that it's a bit finer and easier to make those points. That's better. Much better. And that way we're not taking up quite so much space either. So this one I'm more going from the centre out to the bottom for the colours on this one. I'm not worrying about this side here, and I didn't do anything then, but I'm not worrying about that side there because that's kind of the top where our light would be, or lighter areas would be. Well, so I'm sorry it's been so long since I've done some videos. Things have just been kind of busy here, so I haven't sort of gotten around to it. I've been trying to get to finishing this one and been saying I want to for a while, and I just haven't gotten to till now, but I'm going to try and do multiples over the next however many days to work on finishing some more of these. And this will be our final part of the line. I'm hoping I can finish it all in this part. And you'll notice as we do this is our shadows starting to form around these areas, which is awesome. And then this bottom one I'm just going to do at the point of the leaf because it's kind of the bottomish area. Anyway, I'm just going to pause for a minute and I will be back in a minute. I'm not going anywhere. I just remembered I need to download some other videos off the card so that I can keep working on more videos whilst these ones are offloading. So I need to, because I went out for a photo shoot the other day, so I need to get the photos off that card so that I can then use those cards in this camera to record more videos whilst the others are downloading to my computer for later so that I can get as many done as I can for over Christmas. So I will just start that and then I will be back here continuing with our sepia. So hey everyone, I'm back. So I've got that downloaded now. Pretty much it was just, I went out and did some storm photography the other day when we had thunderstorms roll through. So yeah, it was just downloading the photos so that I could then instead use the card to record more videos after this one's done whilst this one's downloading because they can take a while to download. So yeah, we're just going to continue here with our sepia and we're going to sort of, I think, I'm going to go along a lot of the bottom of this one, just a thin line along the bottom. I probably won't do that for everyone, I don't know, we'll see. But I know with these ones up here I only went with the, actually I think I'm going to extend those up towards the tip. So I've changed my mind. That's better. Much better. So these ones instead I'm going to change them all to go to the tip of the area. Just thinking blowflies. Can't totally get rid of them here though. But yeah, so I'm just using the sepia to outline these, but I am going to do some on the bottom bit too with the sepia so that where our shadows are more. So I'm going to do more of a deeper area here, and then we're going to go up along the back of these areas, trying not to fill up too much space with where you're going. Oops, like I almost did, because I was in an awkward position. So I'm going to just try flipping this around and seeing if I can do it in a bit of a less awkward position. Yeah, this will work much better. Much better. And then this one here, we're not going to do sepia on that because that one doesn't take sepia. but this one here does. So we want to do it on the side that's not pointing towards the light, because as I said, our light source is coming from this direction down. So I'm just going to also do it along the spine where the leaf is as well for this one. And I need to swap the position again. So I'll just swap it when needed to do what we need to, basically. Here we go. And then we've still got this one here too, but we've also got these ones here that I'm going to do first. Okay, now I'm going to come up and I'm going to actually do these ones, and for this one here I'm just going to do it on the bottom little bit. Same for this one's kind of going to be more on the side, but basically I'm just changing it depending on where the shape's kind of going or where the light source is coming from, more like. So, because it's coming from this way, I think I'm going to do it like this, and for this one I'm actually going to just do it on little tip area. But these ones I think, well, that one didn't work out quite so well, but I'm going to more do it along the bottom area. I'm trying to leave a bit of light shadow area in there for blending it. So I'm just going to do one side at a time, I think. Or just do them as it works. Whoops, that was a little bit too much of the sepia shadow. Oh well. In this area I'm trying to get a bit darker than these ones because you probably, I think I said it but I'm not sure, but basically these ones have ended up actually lighter than the bottom area, so I want to try and make this one darker like the bottom area again if I can. I'm going to do my best anyway. It may not totally work out, but we can try our best, and I think by not doing sepia over some of the ones that didn't take sepia for the bottom bit, I think that would work. But yeah, we'll work on it as we go. Because we're not to that bit yet. Basically just follow your light sources as to where you put the shadows. That's what I'm doing, where I started my light source from and where I'm continuing it from. which I'll need to remember that when I go back to the Joanna Basford Inktense one that I'm doing, which I'm thinking of doing a part on that next, and maybe a part on the elephant, and then if I can I'll come back to the fairy tales and to Medusa and all of those. So either that, or if it's not today, I'll be working on them tomorrow anyway, even though it's the weekend, because I just really want to do this right now. I do. I'm really happy to be back doing it. And I can't wait to continue with my book reviews as well. So I'm just going to work on these bits around the side of the lion's face first, and then I'm going to go to the other bits, just because of the chances of rubbing colour off and stuff like that. Like, you can't always avoid it, but you can do the best you can to help it not happen so much. I'm just going to do it up there this time for the shadow bit. I was thinking I probably should do some shadow underneath these little areas, but I don't want to, because then we lose all the opportunities for like our little light source areas. So I don't want to lose those. So I'm going to leave it without the shadows underneath where the leaves overlap for this time, because we've got them at the top areas, so it's kind of like we're highlighting those areas anyway. We are? I guess we are kind of highlighting those areas anyway, even if it is higher on the leaf bit. Well, for some of them anyway, but I just want to leave them that way anyway, so yeah. Now we want to do a little bit of light source areas. Or little, not light source areas, but a little bit of light area with the sepia so that we can blend it easier. We do. And I've probably done that slightly wrong, have I? It'll work. Because it is the sort of the spines of the leaves. I probably should have done the shadows up on those top spots, but I started it where it is, so I'll just leave it where it is. But I think it'll still work anyway, because it's still going to show those light source areas and the veins would be darker anyway, so I'm just going to make it work. I will. Whoops, I put a little much sepia on that top bit. That wasn't intentional. Sometimes hard to judge the amount of colour that goes down. Because I did it on a couple of those spots there. Anyway, I'm just going to pause for a minute due to the battery time. Well, not battery time, but basically due to the time with the recording time. So I'm going to pause and then I'm going to come straight back and continue with our sepia, and then we'll move on to our next colour that I think it's starting to fill in well. So yeah, I will see you shortly. So hey everyone, we're back. So we're going to keep going here with our sepia. And we're going to work on finishing these last little areas with our sepia, and then we get to come in with our next colour. So yay! Whoops, I forgot to put the music back on again. Just do that. There we go. I sometimes pause the music between pausing the video, so yeah. You know, the review book I'm currently reading is Banjo 2 by Grantley Keza. I'm not totally sure, but it's actually a really interesting book and it's all about Banjo Paterson's history. So I'm actually really enjoying reading genres that I didn't think that I would enjoy, but I am enjoying, so it's great. And I think I just did too much sepia on that spot. Oh well. What happens, happens. We do the best we can. Oops, and I just did way too much sepia on that one. Way too much. I guess I'll just work with it as it is. Let's just add a bit of that sepia on the bottom of this one here too. I'm not doing very well with the judging where things go this time today. I seem to be doing it too thick in a lot of spots, and that's not exactly how I want it to be. Oh, it's like there. And I don't want to try erasing it because then I can never get the colours and that on properly again. I'm just going to try just a little bit in that section if I can. And no, it's not working. It's not. I just think it's the position at times that my hand's in, kind of thing. I think it is. I think it's more to do with the position of my hand and the fact that I haven't done stuff for a little bit, so my hand's trying to go into my old position and I'm finding it awkward doing this position again. I think that's part of it. Because I feel sort of wobbly in that again. And I'm just going to pause for a minute to see if I can get my hand working a little better, because it's just feeling a little wobbly right now. So. And I feel like I'm going all over the place and getting too much sepia in spots where I don't want too much, and it's going to make it awkward. But then I guess at the same time we did want this area slightly darker, but we still don't want it being overtaken by the sepia, because this area here isn't being overtaken by sepia, it's just fine lines and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm just going to pause for a minute and see if I can loosen up my hand a bit so that it stops just, I don't know what it is, it's just jerking at odd times even though it's not cramped or whatever. So yeah, I'm just going to do that and then I will be back. So we're back. So we're going to keep going here with our sepia. Hopefully this time we can finish it. Whoops. Well, not finish the whole bit, but finish the sepia and move on to the Tuscan Red. That's my hope. So let's keep going here. I'm going to work out where I'm going to put the other bits of the leaf veins on this in a minute. I just wanted to have a bit of the shadow along the spine of the leaf as well. I did. So I think I'm going to do it at these bottom bits. Not all of them are going to be able to have all the light source because obviously they're not a lot of space in some of them, but we'll do the best we can with things. We really will. Because unlike some of the others, these ones are changing size. So and just remembering to put a little bit of a light area for blending purposes, but trying not to fill up too much, which I'm not sure if I'm filling up too much at the minute. I'm hoping I'm not. I'm trying not to, but it does feel like I am filling up a bit too much that I don't want to, but yeah. What can you do? I've sharpened it, but the point's already gone, so yeah. And these leaves here, I'm not touching those ones because they don't have sepia in them. And I just spotted a spot that I've missed with that one, so we just want to bring in our Tuscan Red and our black at the same time. Not at the same time, but just our Tuscan Red and black to fill in that spot because that's part of the vein of the leaf. And then we're back to our Sepia PC948. And I'm just going to try sharpening this again, even though it doesn't, the point doesn't last for long. And I'm trying also not to break the inside lead of the pencil by accident by sharpening it too much as well. So yeah. There's not a lot of room in here though for the light area, and trying to leave some light area for the other colours, so some of these spots probably aren't going to fit every single colour, but we'll still do every single colour over the top just to fill it in and make it work, I guess. And we're just following down the spine with this one as well, and to the bottom of the leaf. Trying to leave space for the other colours too. I'm trying to do my best not to fill it too thick, but some are filling thicker than I kind of want, but I guess I've got my Tuscan Red to go over, so I'll just fill in some of those spots instead with the Tuscan Red. But it's also a little harder when the areas are so small. So I guess I'm sort of learning that I can't be mad at myself, because sometimes areas are just difficult to fit in as many colours as I'd like to. Even though I still try to, and then go over the lines and blah blah blah. So I'm going to do these bits first and then go up to those final ones. Okay, and now our final bit with the sepia, which is this little section here. It is. Okay, and that's our sepia done. So I think I may, oh no, I was thinking of pausing briefly, but I may just start with our Tuscan Red PC937. And as you'll notice, my pencil is quite small because I've used it so much with this image and other, I don't know, other images? I'm not sure, maybe I have. Who knows, but either way. I also had some lead breakage happen with this pencil, so. Yeah. Whoops. Oh, bummer. That one's not actually meant to have the Tuscan Red. Whoops. Okay, I don't know if it's going to erase or not, but I'm going to have to try and hope I don't wreck the whole thing. And the problem is now it's going to have that red colour all over the base of it, which is not what I want particularly, as you'll notice. It's kind of worked, but it's not looking the best for the paper. Hopefully it doesn't affect it too much. So I'm just going to come in with the sepia again, and hopefully I can fix this up a bit, and hopefully it won't look too weird with the other. And I'm just going to finish this leaf, and hopefully I can camouflage it enough. This is what happens when you're doubting yourself. You just make all sorts of mistakes that you normally wouldn't, and it doesn't work. It doesn't. Doubting yourself does not work. So I hope I can fix this up. I really do. So instead, yeah, I think it's this colour. So I'm just going to double check actually before I mess anything up anymore actually. Yeah, it is. So we're going to come in with our burnt ochre PC943, and hopefully it won't look too weird having all that Tuscan red staining underneath. I'm hoping, because you can't really see the burnt ochre here, as you'll notice. Not easily anyway. I'm just hoping I can half salvage it. I am. And then a little bit of lighter areas if we can. And then finally we want to come in with our sand PC940, and hopefully we can see it similar to the other, but I don't think it's going to be totally the case because of that Tuscan red staining the underneath. But as I said, we can only try to salvage it as much as possible, and hope the colour pencil sits on there properly because of the rubbing things off. So we're back. So the camera battery died as I was fixing this up. It doesn't look quite as good. Normally I would use the eraser, and I'm kind of regretting using the eraser, but because it didn't come out quite as well, but what can you do? So yeah, so we're going to go back to our Tuscan Red PC937. This time I'm going to be extra careful as to which ones to do with Tuscan Red, which aren't. So like this leafy one here isn't Tuscan Red, and this one does have Tuscan Red, but there are some like these leaf sort of ones that don't have Tuscan Red. So I'm just, and more of these veiny ones, so I'm just going to have to be careful to make sure that I don't use Tuscan Red where it's not used, shall we say. So, but we can only do the best we can. Then we want to use just some light areas to allow for better blending as well. So I've got the camera battery on charging as well, so hopefully I can do more videos than this for today. That's my goals anyway. It is. So no, I almost did Tuscan Red on these ones. Those ones don't want Tuscan Red me. So this one here too, we want Tuscan Red on these ones too. I'm just trying to use a bit of the finer tip if I can for these ones. But there's not a lot of space in some of these, as you'll notice. Okay, so these ones do have the sand colour in them. Ooh, that's going to be interesting because it's going to be a tight squeeze with these ones. Or at least for the smaller leaves anyway. I'll just be a minute and then I'll be back. So basically we'll be continuing with our Tuscan Red, but I just need to do something quickly that I remembered, so I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I think that should be the last time, I hope. And so we're just continuing with our Tuscan Red PC937. Now, some ways I'm excited about the thought of finishing this one, but sad at the same time because it's been so long spent on it, and it's like, oh, there's no more to do on it. But it'll be exciting too to see it completely finished, to see this line completely finished. It'll be really exciting to see it completely finished. I'm just filling in also any of those center areas that I see that need a bit of filling in with the color. I'm just doing them as I go as well, so just with the Tuscan Red, no other colors. So yeah. Blowflies, do you have to hang around on my book? I've already pooped on it enough as it is, and I hate when they do that. I don't know what makes them attracted to what you don't want them on, but yeah. So yeah, I'm just filling in these center areas with the Tuscan Red as I go too, because there's some whitish spots and stuff happening in those spots, so I just want to fill those in a little bit as I go. And I think I am just going to go till this one's finished, even if it means it takes a bit longer to do so, because I think it'll be nice to have it finished and everyone able to finish theirs as well. And I'm sorry it's taken a little while to get it there, but we're getting there now. We are. So I'm just leaving some shadow areas where these vein bits would sit as well. I am. So these ones do have the Tuscan Red. And I'll probably try editing this one and uploading it tonight, and then work on the others over that time too. And once again, just touching up the Tuscan Red / black areas with our Tuscan Red. We are. So yes, this one does have Tuscan Red. So we want to bring a Tuscan Red along the spine and the other areas. just about a cardboard that's underneath the image. And the ones that I don't have Tuscan Red into, they're the ones that don't take Tuscan Red this time. They are. I'm just going to fill that area, that little spot in with the Tuscan Red, and then I'm just going to bring in my black PC935, and I just want to fill that in because it's such a small area. There's no point sort of doing that, and I did the wrong area again. Whoops, those ones weren't meant to have it. Well, I think I'm not going to attempt to erase it this time. I think just what I'm going to do instead, I'm just going to turn it into the one side rather than trying to erase it and messing things up more this time. I did mess that up then. I wasn't looking properly and I wasn't thinking properly on what I needed to do. So with these ones, I will say watch out for that because it is so easy to accidentally just mess it up, and I've probably just messed all yours up too. So pretty much what I'm going to do here is, rather than trying to erase again and messing things up like this one, I am actually just going to leave them like that, pretend they're one of these sections or even one of these sections, because that was kind of what I was thinking it was. I was thinking it was one of these sections. I didn't look twice and see the stem between them. But instead, what I'm going to do, even though I know none of the others have that, I'm just going to leave it instead as one stem with one side of the leaves. So the other side's just going to basically end up being like these ones. So just try watching out for that, because I wasn't then, and I just, for some reason, I just thought it was like these ones up here, and I started filling it in, and I also got a bit mixed up because it was directly under these two here. So that was why I was thinking it was just more of these little ones. So I started filling it in, and then I realised that it was supposed to be this leafy type one. So I'm just going to, even though none of the others are like that, as I said, I'll just leave it as the one side and the stem. I'm not going to, shall we say, mess with it more. So That's just how I'm going to solve that one rather than erasing, because it just messed it up more that last time. So yeah, just sorry if that also messed up yours, but that's how I'm going to work it, since I did mess up again because I wasn't thinking properly. I was just thinking, oh yeah, that's part of it, that's another one, and I was just in the flow when I started doing it, and next thing, whoops, I've done it again. Particularly when your mind's thinking of other things as you're colouring, you probably shouldn't necessarily be thinking of when you're colouring. Like I was thinking about a friend who I've known, or who has known our family since we were kids, that we used to go to for barbecues and all that sort of stuff. And I haven't seen them for ages, but my mum's recently told me that he's got a website up now, and that he may have, he's done some paintings based on Banjo Patterson, and that I may like to look at them. And I'm not sure if I'm able to make it work due to copyright, but maybe if I can, using a couple of his, or one of his artworks as the background, as somehow put it in for the background for the banjo book that I'm currently reading. But I'm thinking about it and thinking, well, that may not be possible because, well, it may be possible if I cut the book out and sit it on the background, but being a video, it makes it a lot harder, so I'm not sure that it's going to actually be possible to be done. So, yeah, I've just been thinking about if it's doable, if it's not doable, all of that while doing the colouring stuff and thinking about my review book stuff. And obviously when you do that and you're trying to do this and you're thinking, oh yeah, that's just another one of those areas, it's easy enough to mess it up. So get my mind back on the topic at hand. But my fix for that this time is not going to be to use the eraser, because, as you know, normally I don't use the eraser because it messes things up more, and I don't like using the eraser because of that. So yeah, I'm just going to instead just count that as like these ones up here, and then just do these as the leaves on the stem. It works. At least in my mind it does. But yeah, so yeah. Oh yeah, it doesn't necessarily help not having your mind on things exactly as they need to be. But yeah, I was just thinking about his website that I think his niece or something put up for him, and what he's done with his life with the art stuff that he does, and the way he does his artwork from what I read, and it's like, it's really interesting It really is. Because those are the types of things I would like to achieve with my art eventually. And I really want to get to doing more drawings and stuff like that, as well as the colour alongs and all of those things. And I'm probably going to try and work out a bit more of a schedule over New Year or Christmas. Not cutting out the colouring stuff and still trying to get back to doing 7 days a week, but more for the fact of how can I add in other things that I want, like hand colouring photos, jewellery making, colouring, like the actual colouring books and colouring images that I'm doing, as well as also my own drawings and colouring those drawings. And also I want to add in things like photography, editing, like showing a bit how I edit photos, and then showing once those photos are printed off, how to hand colour the photos and all those sorts of things. So how to hand colour your own photos and do things like that. So there's a lot more things that I do want to add into this channel. I also still want to consider live streams if I can work out a webcam or a video camera or some way of doing it a lot longer and more consistently, but I haven't worked that out yet, so that's why that hasn't happened yet. But there is a lot more things that I would like to add into this channel as well, on top of the colouring, but still have a regular consistent colouring channel as well. Having regular consistent, not colouring channel, but regular consistent colour alongs and stuff as well for those things. So and also continuing with my book reviews and stuff like that too, because I really love doing my book reviews as well. So it's not particularly going to be shall we say all colouring related, but it will be art and stuff like that, and that's why I put that in my name, because I've always intended on adding more than the colouring into it, but still keeping the colouring with it as well. So there's still going to be consistent colour alongs and stuff like that, but I do want to add in my own art and all of that stuff as well. It's just getting a bit ahead of things and stuff like that. I'm sort of thinking now maybe I should try saving up a bit for another laptop, so that I've got a laptop that when I go away or go places, I can still pack up all my colouring and my recording gear and still do that and save it to external drives, but then when I get back I can edit or even edit it as well while I'm away at times, and then I can still, once I get back, then I've got videos ready to upload and add for everyone. So it's something that I'm thinking that I might like to save towards, so that I can still look at doing that when either I'm away or I'm busy or not near my computer or stuff like that, just to allow me to still have the chance to work on videos and stuff for when I am back. It is, and that's sort of what I'm thinking I would like to save towards now, so that I can still do stuff and have ways of being able to keep doing stuff when I'm not necessarily near my PC. And that way I still have content when I do get home to upload for everyone, which would be awesome. And I'm just going to pause for a minute because it's getting closer to the amount of time the camera allows before switching off, and then we're going to come back and we're going to continue with our as our Tuscan Red and keep trying not to make more mistakes because yeah, I've kind of got a bit of a record of doing that this video. So yeah, I will be back shortly and I will see you then. Okay, yep, we're definitely going to go over time with this video because there's only 24 minutes of recording space left on this card, so yeah, lucky we got other cards to keep going whilst we do that. We're just continuing with our Tuscan Red, and these little spaces are nearly filled up now because of the amount of space, basically. But yeah, I'm really liking how this last part's coming out, and I can't wait to see our lion finished. It'll be awesome. Will be. I'm just hoping the phone doesn't go off because I just tried ringing someone in the break, and normally when I try ringing someone they ring back in the middle of a video. Yeah, maybe I should put it on mute quickly. Just put it on silent, on the ringer on silent, and also do not disturb or sleep mode, whichever it is. So that'll work. That way it's not interrupting the video. Woohoo! But yeah, as I was saying, there's a lot of things that I really want to add into this channel with time, but let's with my beads, I'm still sorting them out as to, I guess, I'm just going to fill that one in completely with the Tuscan Red and with the black as well. So, but I'm still sorting out my beads and stuff, but once I got them in order, I'd like to add in some jewelry making videos and yeah, all sorts of things, and editing the photo and then how to hand color the photos and all of that sort of thing. So yeah, I'm looking forward to when I get to those bits. And this is the same, I'm gonna just fill it in with the Tuscan Red and then do the black. And then we're back to our Tuscan Red PC937 again. So some of these ones where I have 2 or 3 steps in the one video, it's just because they happen so fast in succession that usually it's easier to put it all in the one sentence than try to separate it. It is. Okay, so that one there I would say is, we've just made this work. We've got a one-sided one here of our leaves as well with the one-sided stem. Yeah, I think it's that side. I hope it's not this side, because if it's this side, well, bad luck, already done, but I think it's more following this stem here from the looks of it, so. Yay, we got 2 one-sided areas. So I'm not going to put Tuscan Red in this line here, and these leaves are not going to be Tuscan Red. They aren't. But these leaves will have Tuscan Red, these ones here. Oh, there's another one-sided one there, so yay! There are some one-sided ones of those leaf stem areas, so that's nice to know. Well, not just nice to know, but it means it'll work in better. And this one, I almost did Tuscan Red on this one again too, but that one doesn't have it. And so we're on our last Tuscan Red spot. And there we go. So I'm just going to continue with our burnt ochre. I was just looking at the time to see if I needed to end for a minute or not. So we're going to continue with the burnt ochre PC943. And this one, I need to check. Yeah, this one does come into the leaf with veins. It does come into this one. Does come into this one here too by the looks of it. So it looks like all of the different types of leaves have the burnt ochre this time. So I'm just going to pause for a minute and then I will be back and we'll start on our burnt ochre. So hey everyone, I'm back. So I decided to transfer the other card and put in a new card briefly whilst I do this. So we're going to continue and we're going to start with our burnt ochre PC943, and from what I've looked at, I think every area on here this time requires the burnt ochre, so I'm pretty certain. Anyway, I'm just having a quick look back at my list of the leaves and the colours that I've used on them, and yeah, it looks like burnt ochre's in all of them. So that makes this one a bit easier and makes mistakes not so likely to happen. So we want to bring in our burnt ochre over all our other colours like we did with our Tuscan Red and our Sepia, and try and leave space. We haven't actually left as much space as I thought I would for that one because we need to bring our sand in there as well, in our sand and all of those colours in. So we're gonna probably have to be a bit sparing with some of these with the amount of burnt ochre that we use, just because of the fact that we still need to bring in a lot of these. Some will be finished with mineral orange, but a lot of them still need sand brought in, so we're probably going to have to try and be a bit sparing with some of the mineral orange and the burnt ochre, just so that we make sure that we've got the space to bring those colours in. So yeah, so just try to remember that we still need to bring in a lot more, at least two more colours in a lot of these areas, and the other spots, well, we shall work on those spots as we go, kind of thing, whether they need one or two. But I'll go by my little list of what colours have been used here, and then we shall add it in according to that. Like some only have 3 colours left, some have 2 more colours left to go in them, or some only have 1 colour left to go in them, some have 2 colours left to go in them. So I'm just going to go a bit sparing. If I can, after those are done, I'm going to add a bit more colour in on top then, but in the meantime I'm going to try and leave some space for the other colours. Like this one here is going to I didn't realise that I'd taken up so much space with the mineral Tuscan Red and Sepia, and so now there's not a lot of space for the mineral orange and sand, but then down there it's probably not so much of an issue because that's a darker area. But yeah, just things to be aware of as you're colouring in these areas. It is, or just things that I normally try to be aware of anyway. It is. And I wish all these blowflies wouldn't keep hanging around. They always like to land on the one thing you don't want them to land on. like either yourself or the book, or yeah. I'm trying to leave some little lighter areas to blend the colours in a bit better, so we don't have too many streaks either. I'm not going to worry too much about putting the lighter spot in this, because it kind of has gone a bit lighter, but also because there's still 2 more colours to go in these teeny little areas, and I'm trying to allow room to fit them. Hopefully they won't look too streaky, but we can only do the best we can do with the minimal space we have in these spots. And I still want to have similar colour tones as all the others, so I want to try and fit those colours in there. And I'm just quickly going to bring in the Tuscan Red and fix up. There's some areas where it's getting a lot of white spots around them, so I'm just want to touch those up just a little bit when I do see them. And then we're back to our burnt ochre again. But yeah, I'm not, where there's more space I'll add lighter tones like this little spot here, but in these little spots there's barely any space left, so we're probably not even going to get our sand in those spots, so just do what you can and at least try and get the burnt ochre and the mineral orange in those spots together if you can. Whoops. Whoops, I'm not leaving quite as much space as I want for those ones with the mineral orange and sand. Because this one still has 2 colours left to go on it. So, but I guess it's a smallish space too, but I'm trying to do this because if I didn't leave a little bit of blending here with 2 colours left, it would kind of not blend in correctly, if that makes sense. And these little streaks still have 2 areas left to go on them as well, so trying to leave space for those other colours. But I'm not sure how the blending layers are going to go because there's so little space left in them, shall we say, because can't add all of our light areas so much because of the fact that it is not much space left. Like this one I'll still try to anyway, but we're not going to see as much of the sand in this area as I guess the upper areas, but I guess that's not so much of an issue because I guess as we're trying to make this area a bit darker than the upper areas anyway. I guess we were. Trying not to add quite so much of that because we've added a lot of the Tuscan Red and Sepia in this little area too, and it's taken up a lot of the space for the sand and that and blending layers. I just quickly want to fix up. It's just out of frame, but there's just a couple of little areas that I'm just touching up with our Tuscan Red. There it is. So some of the areas, as the colour starts trying to rub off, it sort of goes a bit white, patchy sort of colour. And I'm trying to avoid that a bit, but it sometimes means touching up. But I've found there's only a certain amount of touch-ups that you can do, or else it seems to start not touching up so well because the paper only holds a certain amount of colour, I guess you could say. And then we're back to our burnt ochre PC943, and we're just continuing where we stopped, paused briefly, I guess you could say. Or stopped, whichever, either or either works. Okay, there's a spot here. I'm just going to go in with the Tuscan Red and the black and just fill it in as it is, rather than, because I couldn't really see it, and so I didn't really notice it, and so I'm just going to fill it in with the Tuscan Red and the black, and it's camouflaged and it's out the way and it's filled in and done. It's just these little teeny spots that can't fit much in the way of colour and basically vanish with one colour and stuff like that, so I think better just to blend them into the background. I do. At least sometimes anyway. When it works for the image. If it didn't work for the image, I wouldn't do it. I'm trying to do little light areas, but I'm hoping I'm not filling them in too much, because there are some of these spaces like these ones which still need two colours and others that need one colour, but it's like I'm hoping that I can fit the two colours in that space. I guess I just have to do the best I can. Anyway, I'm just going to pause a minute again because of the time, with the amount of time the camera goes, and then we will come back and continue. So I'll see you shortly. So we're back. We're going to keep going here with our burnt ochre PC943. We don't have too many sections left to go, but there is one section here that I do want to fill in again with the Tuscan Red and black. So just down below this one here, because I want to fill it in pretty much. And then we're going to come back with our burnt ochre PC943, and we're going to continue with that in the few little areas that we have left. I think it's coming together nicely though for our final part. It's nice seeing the finishing touches starting to slowly form on the lion. It is. It's really nice. Yes, some of these, yeah, I was right. Some of these thinner, longer, skinnier ones aren't going to fit all the colours into them, unfortunately. spot of the paper or something started rubbing off there. I'm not totally sure, but it just got really light in that spot. And I think that means some of the paper's starting to rub off, which is not my goal. Let's just see. I think that camouflaged it didn't really camouflage it much at all. I guess that's what happens when you're using so many layers though. Sometimes. Hopefully it doesn't get worse when I put the orange on it, because there's some other spots in other areas where it's done the same thing. And yeah, I think, as I've said in the past, I don't know if it's because of too many pencil layers, whether there's just a fault in the paper there or what it is. I don't quite know how some of these areas are going to fit another 2 layers of colours on them because they're such small spaces. But I guess I'll have to make it work somehow to make it fit with everything else. Some areas I might not quite get all the colour on there, but I'm going to do the best I can. And I think after I do this last one, I think I'm going to pause for a minute and I want to check out this area because it's just gone a bit sort of lighter, like it has started rubbing off, but I'm not totally sure. Maybe it's not. I just want to have a bit of a look. I guess either way there's not really anything I can do about it, but I just want to stop and have a look at it and check it out, kind of thing. Okay, so I'm going to pause there for a minute, then we're going to come back with our next colour. And yeah, I just want to check out that little area that I noticed starting to look a bit funny and see, maybe there's nothing I can do about it, maybe it's just too many layers, I don't know. I just want to have a bit of a look, so I will be back shortly. So hey everyone, I'm back. So that little area that I was looking at, I have managed to touch it up a bit. It's not perfect, but better than it was. So next we're actually going to come in with our Mineral Orange PC1033. And we just want to bring that over all these other colours, but try to leave a little room where we can for our sand colour. We do. There's another spot that it's happening too, I think. So it might just be the amount of colour going down. So I'm just quickly going to get a bit of our Tuscan Red, and I'm just going to try to touch up that little spot without causing too much more damage, so just very light touches. Hasn't fixed up totally, but better than nothing. And then we want to come back with our Mineral Orange PC1033 and continue with the rest of our areas that take Mineral Orange. So just any of the areas that I leave out don't take Mineral Orange, basically. They don't. And some of these little skinny areas probably aren't going to fit the Mineral Orange, unfortunately, fit the sand, unfortunately, because just space, pretty much. But we'll do the best we can to leave a bit of space for the sand, and if we can't fit it all in totally, well, we can't fit it all in totally, I guess. But we can still do the best we can with it. We can. I'm not sharpening this one too much because this one's had a lot of lead breakage as well, so I'm just trying to be careful with the amount of sharpening I do for some of these pencils that have had a lot of lead break, because I don't want that happening constantly all the time if I can avoid it. But it still happens. Just, I find it tends to happen even more if you sharpen it to a really sharp point. This one's finished completely with the orange, so we aren't going to put sand over it this time because we don't want it lighter like these other areas. We want it a bit darker, like our bottom area, if we can. Getting closer. Not quite finished with the orange yet, but we're getting a lot closer to finishing this line, as you can see. Okay, now we're on to our last colour. So now we're going to come in with our sand PC940, and we want to go over what's left of these colours that doesn't take the orange. So this type here with the stem and the leaves that I finished in the orange, they are done, but there are some like these solo ones. I'm still going to add sand into them even though there's not much space, because they are meant to have sand, but some of the areas were skinny, so you can only do what you can do depending on the area. And these leaves here also have sand. They do. And I'm still going to put the sand in these little skinny areas, because just in case there is little light areas left in them. I'm not sure that there will be many, but we're going to put it there anyway, just in case. Oh yeah. I'm just going to add a little more burnt ochre over these areas because there's a little much in the way of sand in these stems. Like, I still want the sand in the stems, but not showing quite so lightly. And now we're going back to our sand again, and we're going to finish off these little leaves. So, camera battery died again, right as I was just about getting close to finishing, so I had to wait for the other battery to finish charging. Oh, I can't win. All I wanted to do was finish this and look at starting the next video, and what does my camera do but die and leave me waiting for the other one to finish charging. Yeah. So, anyway, we're back at it again with our, continuing with our sand, PC940, and yes, finally we're back to it. Fortunately, I didn't have to wait too long impatiently tapping my feet waiting for, or hands waiting for the battery to finish charging. fortunately. Oops. Wow, there's a lot of Tuscan Red on the back of that one. I guess I'll just erase it off after this is done and put the Glad wrap on the front of this bit before I try erasing the bits off the back. Yes. Just going to come back in with a bit of my burnt ochre just to create some light shading where this white is on those areas, and then back with the sand PC940. just want to bring in a bit of the Tuscan Red. There's just a spot here that I just want to add more of the Tuscan Red over the top. Fill it in. Then it's back to our sand, PC940. This one we're not going to put sand colour over. I might have put sand colour over that one without thinking of doing it. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Hopefully I didn't put sand colour over that one because I was trying not to, but I can't remember now if I did or not. I hope not anyway. I hope I didn't put it over that one either. Now I think about it, I don't think so. Guess I'll find out when I'm watching it, or if it goes lighter, because I noticed it actually went lighter over time rather than straight away. But I guess whatever happened has happened. No wonder it's looking a bit scratchy because it's gone right down to the pencil bit. That's probably why it's looking a bit scratchy on me. At least I think, but I'm not totally sure. Well, that side looks very sort of scratchy in some ways. I'm just going to try adding in a little more mineral orange in this side, just to try and stop it looking quite so scratchy like it is. And I'm just going to try a little bit of Tuscan Red, adding a little bit more of that in too, just stop it looking quite so, I don't know, it's just something about that one doesn't look quite right. And a little bit of burnt ochre just on top to try and get it looking a bit better. That looks a bit better. So yeah, that is our line finished. Whoops, wrong way. A zoom out would help. So that is our line finished. I really hope, and just check it's properly focused. Yeah, that is our line finished. I really hope you've enjoyed this colour along. I'll probably start another one soon once I wrap up a few others. But yeah, I've still got a lot of work to go on some of those others. So yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed this. And if you have, please leave a like, subscribe and comment, and I will see you later. Bye!